Hi guys. So it's been 5 months, I think, since I last filmed a video for you, which is wild. It's the longest I have ever gone without filming for this channel since I started it in December of 2022. But yeah, so I do have a trigger assortment for you guys today that I'm just gonna like tap and scratch and make noises with. Well, I chat with you guys because I wanted to share where I've been, why it's all good things, and why I'm not going to be able to post all that much kind of going forward as well. But again, you know, when I can like this, I will hop on and do my best. I love you guys and I love making videos for you, and this channel's still really important to me, but as many of you know, my main career is as an actress. I live in Los Angeles, and I've been pursuing acting for a long time, and finally things are getting really busy, and it's been amazing. So I wanted to kind of chat with you guys about that. And so I picked a bunch of triggers, and for each trigger I'm going to tell you about a job I've already done this year or have already booked and will do this year. Because right now there's at least 10 jobs that either I've done or I'm about to do, which is awesome. And it's only been, 4 to 5 months of 2026, so I'm just feeling really blessed. Yeah, but just to start, so in December, let me pick something up. Actually, no, let's do, I'll just start with this. So in December, I last posted for you in late November, around Thanksgiving, I think. And then in December, I took like the whole month to just kind of take a mental health month and be home with family. My family lives up in the woods in Northern California, so I just needed a break in nature for a bit. And then the moment January hit, things got really busy. I signed with a new agency in late November. And I've been working a lot with them the moment it hit January 1st. So, I literally had to write a list of all the things I've done that I want to tell you about. So the very first job that I did with this agency, I've been doing, so the industry has blown up with these things called verticals or microdramas. I don't know if you guys know what these are. You might see them on your social media or even YouTube as random, really weird ads that are like real actors for the most part. They're starting to do some with AI, which is so dumb. But they are basically soap operas on steroids that a lot of them are aiming towards women that want to see romantic storylines. And it started in China a few years ago and got really popular, and so it spread to the States, and now the majority of them are actually filming using American actors, some Canadian as well, because some film in Vancouver too. And it's getting to be a huge, huge, huge market, and I have so many friends that are doing them as well, and I know some of my guy friends, especially because the guys are the ones that, you know, the audience is heavily female. I have some guy friends that have hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers because of doing these. They get so many views. So I did 2 last year. One of them is almost at 40 million views on DramaBox. So they have these streaming platform apps that they go on. I'm very picky about which ones I'm willing to do, because some of these can be very mature content, or can be, nothing's ever shown that's graphic, but it can be very poorly written, very mature content, or like about werewolves and highly supernatural stuff that just is done in a very cringy way. It's like soap operas on steroids, but like very cringe. And the writing's not good. And because it started in China, sometimes the writing is translated from Chinese and it can be bad. So I'm very picky about what I'm willing to do. But now they're getting a lot better. And so I did my first one of this year, which was like a mafia one with some really great actors in it. And I only do lead roles for these ones usually. I did that with GoodShort back in early February. And that was really fun. One of the days we filmed, they usually film for 7 to 9 days. Sometimes 6, but 7 to 9 usually. And they're full 12-hour days. And we filmed one of the days at this amazing mansion that Charmed filmed at, actually, years ago. That was just beautiful. This is a really fun cast. My co-leads were Richard Chira and Shane Deriz, and they were lovely. And we just had a lot of fun, and that was like a very high-action mafia one that actually wasn't romance-based at all, which was awesome. Okay, next project. So then, after that, I filmed for this mini-series. It's like a web series, not vertical, normal horizontal content, and very high-quality footage. For this upcoming series called BlackVeil. They haven't really been releasing yet, but it's like Black Mirror style episodes, and I was the lead in one of the episodes, so each episode's a completely different set of characters and storyline. And my episode, I can't give spoilers, but you know, they're all technology, kind of Black Mirror based, meaning they're all based around modern technology, and my character is basically having like a psychotic break, and she doesn't know it until the end. And it was highly, highly emotional work that I had to do. We filmed for 2 days, 12-hour days, and some beautiful mansions. It was great, because it all takes place in this one mansion in the story, because she's house sitting for this guy. And yeah, it was a lot of screaming, crying in front of the camera. I was like my female co-star. It was only me and her. I was like attacking her with a golf club, and like it was wild. I'm really excited for that footage. I don't have it yet. Obviously, it's not been long enough. Then the one that was the most fun. So this was my second vertical of this year. I do this. Hold on. I brought this from my parents' house. In December, I was like, what would make good triggers for my subs to listen to me tap on? So I brought this home back to LA with me. But it's this little like box with some gems. I just thought it was beautiful and it sounds cool. I like glassy and natural sounding triggers, you know. So I got flown out to New York City in early March, very start of March, for 2 weeks for a lead role in another vertical series. And I hope Jake is not watching this, but love you, Jake, if so. I got to work with Blake Lively's nephew, Jake. Lovely, lovely guy, really, really sweet. And we ended up, the production put us up in an Airbnb for 2 weeks. We got to be really good friends. Filming every day except for one day off in the middle, 12-hour days. On my day off, I got to see one of my best childhood friends that I've known since she was in preschool and I was in kindergarten. I met her older sister in kindergarten on day one, and I got to go to Central Park with her, which I've never really explored New York as an adult. So we went to Central Park together, and then she met my director and Jake, and we all went out for drinks that night, and because she got to know my director, I was able to get her to come on set as a background actress on one of our shoot days, and she had so much fun. And to have like a childhood friend, sorry, there's like hair floating, to have a childhood friend see what I'm doing for a living, who's never been immersed in that world, and be a part of it. She just had a blast, and I had a blast, and she was really proud, and I was just so happy to have her. It was like full circle, you know? Look at this. Whoa. The reflections are cool. I can see myself. Can you see anything? I guess not. But yeah, that one should be coming out any day now on DramaBox as well. That was another mafia one. Very interesting storyline, but a very sweet story. And our director, Arian, amazing guy. He's so talented. He does a lot of verticals, but he normally directs other high quality stuff, and so he got really, just his footage is really good, and he knows what he wants, and he knows what look he wants, and so I think that one's gonna do really well. I'll keep tapping on these just for one more. Then the next project was another web series, but a really popular one that you guys can actually watch on YouTube soon. It's called Dana and the Wolf, or The Poly Couple. It has 2 names. But it's really, really popular on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. They have anywhere between they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers on each, or followers on each platform. And, some other YouTube videos get millions of views and do really, really well. They've got a really supportive fan base, and I actually have a bunch of friends who watch their series before I was cast in it. So when I let my friends know, they were all really excited. This is a cool rock, by the way. And it's basically this romantic comedy series, very dry comedy though. It's like The Office meets Friends, I think, about a polyamorous community. It's truthful about polyamorous communities, but it also is making fun of all of it. And I got a recurring role that hopefully I'll get to come back, and I'll be back on the show at some point. But my episode that I filmed with them is going to be releasing, I think, on May 8th, which is the next episode that they're releasing. They release one episode on YouTube every 2 weeks. So keep an eye out if you want to watch it. Their channel is Dana and the Wolf. Dana and Daniel are the 2 leads, and their names are the same as their characters, and they're just lovely. And I met Lana as well, who plays Oatly, and she and I just hit it off. She's amazing. So it's just a really great group. And they literally started this series during COVID in their own apartment, and it's just blown up, and now it's starting to be put on streaming platforms and stuff. It's wild. Yeah. Okay. Next trigger. Let's do this phone case. I actually got this from another vertical series I did last summer that sometimes you get free things from them, like clothes or items. So the next thing I did was a short film, beautiful, beautiful short film with a now very good friend of mine who's the writer, director, and male lead in it. He's so talented, and just I feel like I have so much to learn from him. He's so intelligent, and I honestly feel like he's going to become a mentor to me, and just a really good coworker in this industry, and friend. But it's called A Cure for Loneliness. It's not out yet. He's still finishing up editing. Or kind of just started post-production. But it was filmed over one night shoot, and we prepped it for a while, for a few weeks. We were working on it, and basically it's this story about you think the girl is an AI companion that's been hired by this seemingly human guy that's lonely, and he doesn't want anything physical. It's really just conversation that they have, and at the end it kind of starts to become something physical, but then it cuts away. But it's this existential conversation that they have. Flowers. Existential conversation that they have about loneliness and about purpose and being seen. It gets revealed that she's actually the human and he's actually the android, and he actually killed his owners, who are in the room next door, so he could have the house to himself and order this human companion to talk to, because he's suddenly having this crisis. And we don't know what happens after the film ends, whether he hurts her or not, but they do have a really beautiful connection and conversation, and yeah, I worked hard on that one, and I'm really excited to see how that turns out. I also, separately, in February, I forgot to say this, we had a private screening for a movie I did last year that hopefully will come out soon, but the screening went so well. It's honestly the biggest, what do I want to tap on? It's honestly the biggest film I've ever been a part of. There was a main cast, so 6 of us in an ensemble cast, and three of them are name actors, like really, really good actors. Lexi Underwood, Case Walker, and Kat Cunning. I play Kat Cunning's girlfriend in the film. And it's like we're band members from from Portland that are driving down to Napa to perform at a wedding, and we only do cover songs. And I don't want to spoil the movie, but it's called Bad Karaoke. And the idea is we are on this way down in this bus, and we stop at a bar and then an Airbnb, and at the bar we pick up an old karaoke machine to have fun with at the Airbnb, and it turns out the karaoke machine is haunted. And a lot of things happen, and it's a horror comedy. But this was my first SAG Acting Union feature film. High quality, really amazing people and team. And the premiere, or it wasn't a premiere, it was a private screening, so only cast and crew, so it's not publicly out yet. Nobody else has seen it. My dad flew down to come see the screening with me, and some of my closest friends came to support too. One of my close friends, I'm actually going to tell you more about this, but I'm doing a movie with him later this year, in a couple months. He and I were starred together in our very first professional project in 2022, in a short film together that premiered at an Oscar qualifying festival and did really well. And he is also a musician, so I got him, car passing with music. So I got him to be able to contribute a song to the movie, because they were looking for multiple, because it's somewhat musical, the film as well. So my co-stars are all, like, two of them are professional musicians as well as actors. And so they were asking us if we or us or any friends wanted to contribute music to the film. And I referred him, and one of his songs is in the movie, so he came to the screening to support. And it was amazing to have them all there, and the film is so funny, guys, so funny. And there were people in the audience that I got to meet afterwards that I've, like, grown up watching. One of them was a guy from Gossip Girl, another guy was a guy from Twilight, and in Shameless. One of our actresses in the film is a big actress in Shameless as well, who plays a smaller role in our film. And she's awesome, Kate Miner. So I'm really excited about that too. So that had a private screening in February. Okay, so the next project I did, and this is the last one I've done so far, and then I have 4 that I have not filmed yet, this was, like, also very spontaneous, but I have this, like, turtle, also from my parents' house, you can also find them on YouTube and on social media, but I don't know if you guys are familiar, but they're called the Uncanny Brothers, or the Crows Bros, Croes, C-R-O-E-S. They are actually both from, where did they say they were from? Aruba, I think. But they're really, really big social media artists now, very big influencers. They have this series called the Uncanny Brothers that are these, like, short horror films where they play these twin brothers, because they are twins, I think. These twin brothers that have, like, come back from the dead and kill people. And my friend was gonna be in one of their videos, and he was like, hey, do you want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, because they wanted a couple, like a guy and a girl that were a couple, and then the Uncanny Brothers come in and just, it gets violent. So I filmed that spontaneously one night, and that was so fun. I don't know when that's gonna come out, but I have a lot of friends who also follow the Uncanny Brothers, and so that was really fun. Okay, and then I've got 4 projects upcoming that I want to tell you about. The first I'm about to start on Tuesday, so in 3 days. I'm doing a fitting tomorrow, a table read on Monday, and then we start Tuesday. Let's do this. And this is another vertical, so I'm doing this series, this is another one with GoodShort, and it's like a rom-com where basically I'm this divorce lawyer and I don't actually know who my husband is. We, like, 3 years ago got into a contract marriage without actually really knowing each other and never really saw each other's faces. 3 years later, we're getting a divorce and I don't really know who he is. And this guy comes to my office. It's a very attractive guy, whatever. And he is wanting to get a divorce from his wife. And what I don't know and what he doesn't know is he is my husband and I am his wife. And so I'm like helping him get this divorce with his wife as a divorce lawyer. Well, I'm actually the wife, and all these crazy things happen that prevent us from figuring that out until the very end. This is such a pretty show, by the way. Look at those colors. Look at the colors. And by the end we figure it out, and by then we've already fallen in love. So it's a funny, sweet story. I'm going to be working with Luke Charles Stafford, I believe. And so that'll be fun. Starting that very soon. And then I'll keep scratching on this one for this next one. So then I'm doing a short film immediately after. We film from May 5th through the 16th. I get 3 days off in the middle. They're actually pausing the entire production for me to go see my mom and my family. We're going to a beautiful spot in New Mexico to celebrate my mom's 65th birthday. She never does big things for her birthday, so we wanted to do something for her because she always does it for everyone else. So we're going to New Mexico, and for 3 days I'm going to do that, and then immediately get back to the vertical when I get back on like no sleep because travel is going to be tight. And then the vertical ends on the 16th, and then my birthday is on May 17th, and the night of the 17th we start 2 night shoots in a row for a short film. It's called Checking Out, and basically I'm this girl that gets manipulated by this guy I'm having an affair with. I have a husband, so I'm having an affair with this guy. I get manipulated by him into robbing a drugstore at gunpoint. And I've never obviously done anything like that, and I'm terrified. Oh, I forgot who gave this to me, and she wrote a note. A place to pot your little sacred things in your new home. This was my cousin's girlfriend for a really long time, who basically is just a part of our family now, even though they're no longer together, and it's so sweet. I forgot about the note attached. It just became aesthetically attached. But yeah, so that's what's happening. We're gonna do 2 night shoots in a row, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. after doing 2 weeks of this vertical with 3 days in the middle going to New Mexico. So it's gonna be a really crazy 2 weeks coming up this May. So that'll be wild. But yeah, in this short film, we rob this drugstore, and I get super anxious. The tension builds and builds and builds between him and I. There's some comedy too, like the customers are like, there's 2 customers that just are not reacting how you'd think they would. And the tension builds and builds and builds, and I end up shooting my partner and killing him. And then I'm left standing there, like not sure what to do with myself, and the cops show up, and it's game over. So that'll be wild. And then I just yesterday found out that I booked a lead villain in an upcoming feature film. Feature versus short. Short film is like, you know, like not a full-length film, and then feature film is a full-length film, like independent film, or just a full-length film. But this is fake. This is not real. But this is a dagger that and so I'm pulled it out for a reason, that I got 5 or 6 years ago for my acting conservatory when I was doing Macbeth. But yeah, I haven't gotten to use it in years, so it's just been in my junk drawer, but it's beautiful. Look at that. And I finally got to use it because I was auditioning for this villain who is basically, it's so wild, guys. So this is going to be a horror comedy movie, another one, where it's actually, it's making fun of influencer culture, and there's actually a lot of influencers involved with the film that have a lot of followers together, so it'll be good exposure. And some are cast in the film as well. And so my character is this fashion influencer in the film who's seemingly getting just dragged along on this trip by her boyfriend. She doesn't talk much. She's this tall model-esque, like, fashion influencer type. It's kind of dark and just doesn't say much, very moody. And they find out by the end, from what I've picked, I haven't read the full script yet, but they find out by the end that she is a part of a cannibalistic reptilian familial cult. And I get to kill everyone. And so I have this dagger in this audition, or in the scenes that I was working on. And so I brought this out Yeah, so I did the in-person audition too, and I brought this with me. They let me use it, which was so fun. I never get to be evil. I'm always like the final girl in a horror movie, or the type A, leader, or the girl next door who's the romantic interest, but I'm never the villain, so I'm excited. And then the last project I want to tell you about is the biggest one so far this year. This is with my friend Alec that I told you about, who came to Bad Karaoke and had a song contributed also. This is the trigger for this one. For my mom's birthday, I got her this customized baseball cap. She loves horses, and she has this horse that when she was growing up, she could never afford a horse or anything like that, and so as an adult, she fulfilled her childhood dreams and got a horse. His name is Romeo. We've had him since we were really little, and she still rides him to this day and loves him to death. And unfortunately, he's getting really old, and she's getting older, and she's having some joint and back problems, and he's ready to retire. And so they're hitting this point where she's having to accept that an era is ending, and when he retires, she thinks she's going to retire from riding, and it's really painful. So she's going to do more hiking. She loves hiking. So I decided to get her on Etsy this hat, she loves purple, that has a customized embroidered Romeo on it, so she can take him with her on her hikes. So I'm going to give this to her when I see her in New Mexico. This is Romeo. He has one blue eye, you can't see the other one, but one brown eye actually. He has heterochromia. He's a buckskin, so he's like yellowish, gold. Yeah, love him. An old man now though, but love him. So this last film I want to tell you about, it's called Open Season. I think we're going to film in late June, early July is what it's sounding like. But this is some of the most intense preparatory work I'm going to have ever done for a role. It's a really intense story, just to warn you, but so my friend Alec got me into it. Again, we did our very first professional project together in 2022. He was already cast as the male lead in this, and the female lead had to drop out because she booked a large series or something, so he brought me in. He referred my name to them, I auditioned, and I got it. So we're going to get to work together again for the first time in 4 years. We've been really good friends since, that's just exciting. And we're going to be playing a couple that are homeless to some degree. We're not on the streets, but we do live in motels and stuff like that, and we're just fighting to get by, who unfortunately is addicted to meth. So it's a story about drug addiction, it's a story about addiction to each other, and survival, and just being stuck in a really bad cycle. And so the idea is we start in New York, and we end up traveling to Los Angeles, ending up there, trying to start a new, fresh cycle of life, and hopefully to be better. And unfortunately, the cycle continues, and my character's role is to be the one that starts to break the cycle, and she she goes to like an AA group just to poke her head in and gets scared and runs away, but she's trying, and what ends up happening is they have to do whatever they have to do to make enough money to get the next hit. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing in this film that are definitely pushing some lines for me that are new, but the reason I'm doing it is because it's a really, really well-written film, number one, and it's an amazing team. One of the producers is Frank Capra III, whose family is just so famous, long time in this industry. Frank Capra, the original, his grandfather, the first, was the director of It's a Wonderful Life and some really amazing classic films. And then Frank Capra II, his father, was also a really big producer and assistant directors like Frank Capra III is. So Frank Capra III was the first AD on and producer on A Few Good Men, directed by Rob Reiner, and starring Tom Cruise and Demi Moore and Jack Nicholson. We actually got to go to a private screening to honor Rob Reiner with Frank Capra and one of the actors in A Few Good Men, and just some amazing people in the room. So they invited me and Alec and obviously our director, who's besties with Frank, to go to this screening, and that was amazing. It's a great film. And then Frank was also the producer for Drive with Ryan Gosling and just a bunch of other films. So it's an amazing team. Daryl, the director, is also working on a feature and a miniseries at the same time. some really big names are, I can't say anything else, some really big names are getting attached to those, which is awesome. So that's really good for me and Alec, because it means our film's going to get pushed even more. The idea is it's technically a short film, but it's like 30-something pages, and they're going to be sending it off to different studios after it's done to try to get a partnership through a big studio to do a feature, full-length film. So that's really exciting, and it's just an opportunity for me to have an amazing performance and get it seen by some really cool people. This is one of the bigger opportunities I think I've ever had, other than bad karaoke. But it's more of an intense role and higher level role than bad karaoke was for me, and honestly a more intense film in general. So but yeah, so a lot of things happen in this film. It ends in a really sad way, but a beautiful way. I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to be doing a lot of training. I actually am, so my character at one point has to work at a strip club. It's intense, to make enough money. I'm actually going to be working with, kind of like Mickey Madsen did for Honora, which won an Oscar 2 years ago, which won her an Oscar two years ago. I'm going to be working with some dancers that work at the strip club and getting to know what they do, learning how they do what they do. I might even shadow them on a night, which I'm kind of nervous about, but we'll see what happens. I talked to my director about it. He wants me to do it. And then yesterday I went with Alec and my director, and we worked at a soup kitchen for the homeless down in Hollywood, just to get not only to help out and to volunteer, because that was really meaningful work, but to get a sense of the people that are in that community, and some of them are on those drugs, and to just kind of get more of a taste for that and more of a flavor for it. My director, Daryl, has been on the board of that soup kitchen for a really long time and has worked there for a long time, so he was able to bring us into that. So I'm going to be doing a lot of research and first-hand research work for this role. And yeah, it's going to be about a week long of filming. It's a great team, really good team, and I'm really excited. So anyways, this is very long, but I just feel so blessed with all the amazing roles and opportunities I've been getting to work on. And that's only the first half of the year. So anyways, I gotta go. My sister's actually calling and I want to talk to her, but I love you guys. I hopefully can make another video soon. I'm gonna try, but it might be a few weeks. But for now, sweet dreams.